I'm going to need a lot more alcohol if we're going to get through this video. Euphoria Season 2 was released in 2022, and yes, I know, I'm a week late, okay? I know. I had a cold for like 2 days, and then I didn't really feel like filming anything, so I didn't. And I don't want to film something if I don't want to film something, because then it's bad, and I don't want it to be bad. I still kind of have a cold, but I'm in the mood to film, so here we are. So, as with my season, ignore the vacuum in the background if you can. I don't know how loud that's going to be, but I hope it's not too bad. They're doing great down there. Good job, everyone. But, as with the first one, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about the entire show. Like, I don't think it's fair to do that because it's going to take up all your time, and I don't want to recap the entire show because it already has a recap episode for you. I'm going to talk about specific character arcs that I really liked, specific character arcs that I did not like, and all that kind of thing that really made me shape what I liked and did not like about this show. That's my plan. First of all, there are spoilers in this episode. In this review, so if you haven't seen it, don't watch this yet, I guess, or do and be spoiled, that's fine. But I guess we'll start with Rue, because she is technically the main character, and she kind of is still the main character in this season, but it's not the character we care about. In the first season, Rue was like our hero. We only cared about Rue, basically. In this one, that's just not true. But Rue is still the main character. Excuse me, my throat is still not fully healed. But the Rue is kind of just still a drug addict. And she gets an enabler, too, in the form of Elliot. And Elliot is a big enabler in this show, which is, you know, whatever. We'll get to his character later. But she gets enabled. She does not talk to Jules for practically the entire show. And she doesn't really go anywhere. She becomes, you know, addicted again. She gets this really heap of drugs that gets taken away from her by her parents, which was a great episode, by the way. And yeah, in that episode, Zendaya probably should win an Emmy for that one. And I think she'll definitely get nominated at least. I don't know if she'll win, but she'll definitely get nominated for this season. And her character arc ends in a pretty easy way. The last 2 episodes, she's barely in. And that's kind of fine. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with Rue not being the main character anymore. Like, I'm not sure if we need her to be the main character anymore. We can move on to someone else. That's the beauty of this show, I think, is that it's hard to decipher who the real main character is. And in this season in particular, I don't think it's Rue. We don't care about Rue. It's really between Fez and his girlfriend, who I always forget the name of. I know people are going to yell at me for getting the name, but whatever. I'm going to call her Cassie's sister and Fez's girlfriend, even though they're not even dating. But whatever. They are the main characters, in my opinion. They are the characters I cared the most about, like, by far. Like, not even, like, by, a margin. It's by far. So we're going to talk about them in a little bit. I want to talk about Maddie and Cassie first. Okay, Maddie and Cassie have this huge thing in the middle of the season where they're kind of sharing Nate, where Maddie is dating Nate, but then she's kind of not. There was the whole, like, thing, like, with friends where, like, we were on a break. And that's kind of the whole argument here, which is a little old, and it gets really old the longer you go in. So it's a little frustrating to have to see, you know, that progression again, because we don't need it. So I don't get it. I like a certain extent with how they kind of set it up. They set it up so that Cassie's not the bad guy, which she's not, I think, but that's more of a personal kind of idea more so than anything else. I'm not going to get into that, but like they set it up in a way that it doesn't make her seem like the bad guy, but then later on, you know, you kind of hate both Maddie and Cassie, and it's hard to pick a side. At one point, it's like, oh yeah, everyone's on her side. The next episode, everyone's on her side. And then it's this moral ambiguity, which they did really well. I liked how they set that up. I thought it was really, really brilliant. And then it kind of tapered and then ended on a crappy note where no one won, no one cares. It spiraled into nothingness after Nate got mad. Which Nate had his own thing with his father, which was a pretty cool side plot, not gonna lie to you. But do we need it? No, we didn't. In fact, I kind of wished they set that off for the next season so we could focus more on him in terms of Cassie and Maddie. Because I think that Nate Jacobs deserves his own redemption arc. I do. I really do think that. Did it need to be in season 2? No. No, it didn't. In fact, I think it was a big distraction because then nothing happened with Cassie and Maddie by the end of the season. There was a whole tease for the final episode. At the end of the penultimate episode, Cassie's in like the the auditorium window, and she's like, "Rrr," and and then we're like, oh, next episode things are gonna happen, and then Maddie just like throws her into a wall, and that's kind of it basically. I mean, she goes on the stage and disrupts the whole play, but like, there's no outcome. There's just chaos. Which I think is how I'm going to talk about this season, is it's just kind of chaos. That's really what it is. And that's fine to most audiences at this point. But when you compare it to the first season, which you should, the first season is a masterpiece. It's brilliant. It's awesome. It's precise. It's to the point. It knows what it's doing. This does not know what it's doing, except for the Fezco storyline, which is a brilliant storyline. It's so good. Fez is such a lovely character. We all love him. No one hates him. And Ashtray's a great character. And we love Fez's girlfriend, Cassie's sister. And, like, I really love their relationship. It's pure. It's actual love. And I love that. It's the most pure, it's the only pure relationship in this entire season. It's so good, and I love it so much, and I think that they ended it on a pretty good note. I did call it like 3 episodes early. I was like, yep, Ashtray is gonna at least get hurt, maybe die, and that'll give Fez a lot to do in the next season. I do wish they wrapped it up a little bit tighter, because we still don't know what's going to happen, and we're going to have to wait like 2 or 3 years to know. But I do like where they went with it, and I'm happy about that. I really, truly am. I like Fez's character more than Cassie's sister because he's awesome. Like, it's so hard to, like, put it into words, but it's just how I feel, you know? And Cassie's sister has the whole play thing, and yeah, the play thing's great, but people are talking about this episode, the play episode, like it's a work of art, and it is not. Okay? First of all, yes, the special effects and, like, the camera tricks are brilliant, okay? Good for you. I'm happy for you. They're brilliant, okay? Great, show off, okay? But hear me out. That character is us, right? She is a non-biased character in the entire show. She is the only, really, non-biased character in the entire show. She is observing everything we are at the same time that we are. It is literally us in the show. We are represented by Cassie's sister. And so they have the whole play, which is just a recap of what happened in the first season and leading up to the end of the second season, which we did not need. So people are like, oh, it was enlightening. No, it wasn't. It did nothing. It only got the other characters upset, and then they did nothing about it because then the season ended. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, that's just the truth. I wish it wasn't the truth, but it is. And it is really frustrating to kind of invest all of your attention into this for a recap, essentially, at the end of the season. And we did not need that. What am I missing? Elliot, cool character, did not need that huge 5-minute long solo. They probably could have tied up an entire character arc in that time that it took him to sing that song that he didn't even finish. So, I like his character, though, like, for the most part. Just leading that part really pissed me off, but like leading up to it, he's fine. I like him. Who else did I not mention? Oh, that seems important. Yeah. Notice how I haven't talked about Jules the entire this entire video. Yeah, neither did the entire season. They just glance over Jules like she's a piece of garbage, and that's it. And I'm like, we need more Jules. Like, Jules is the main character for me. Like, Rue and Jules, that's the core of the show. Jules is not in this season almost at all. Like, pretty much literally almost not at all. And yeah, I guess it's fine to push some characters to the side, but Jules? She got a special episode before the season aired. Like, how are we just ignoring that? Are people ignoring that? I don't know. But, like, we need more Jules. What happens with that character? We don't know. We don't know. Like, how do they do that? I'll never understand how they just did that. But I hope they bring her back for the next season and they actually reconfigure everything. I hope they restructure it in a way that makes sense and that is much more in tune with the first season, where it is about, you know, relationships and how negative external factors can impact pure relationships and all of these kind of inner working things that the second season didn't even touch on. And I it's really unfortunate. There's so much more I could talk about, but I'm already hitting like the 10-minute mark, so I'm going to wrap it up here. And I think it's still a good show. Like, it's entertaining. The last episode was nail-biting, but for the most part, it definitely left me wanting more. And honestly, it made me want to rewatch the first season, and that's really it. I kind of didn't need the second season. There are, again, Fezco's storyline is brilliant and awesome, and the show's worth watching just for that. But I need more from this. So I'm going to go ahead and give Euphoria Season 2 a B-. Have you guys seen this season? Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about it. It is on HBO Max. If you have that, feel free to stream it if you haven't already. It's worth a watch. It's just not the masterpiece that is the first season. So anyway, those are just my thoughts. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about all the characters and the storylines. I want to hear all about it. Drop in the comments below, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I would really, truly appreciate it, so please consider doing so. And as always, keep watching movies and television, stay educated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.